Hello, my name is Dr. Jeff Rutledge, and I'm the founder and chief medical officer at HealthTap. I'd like to answer some of the questions you may have about the recent approvals of the new Pfizer-BioNTech and Moderna COVID-19 vaccines. Some people have expressed concerns that because their development was so fast, they might not both be safe and effective. And what kind of side effects might they cause? There's been quite a bit of misinformation circulating about the vaccines, and I'd like to share with you what we do and don't know about them so far. The first thing I'd like you to know is that the vaccines have now been extensively tested, and they are both safe and effective. These vaccines are the result of an amazing advance in medical science that has occurred over the past 30 years. Messenger RNA technology allowed the rapid creation of a vaccine based only on the genetic code of the virus, which was made publicly available by Chinese researchers on January 10th, just 11 months ago. Although this technology enabled the rapid creation of the new vaccine, the testing of the vaccine still had to follow all the usual comprehensive phase 1, 2, and 3 testing, with 74,000 study participants in the testing for these two vaccines so far. It turns out that because the pandemic was growing during the clinical trials, many people who did not get the vaccine got sick very quickly, and we were able to measure the effectiveness of the vaccines in record time. I'm delighted to say that the vaccines were able to prevent symptomatic illness 94 to 95% of the time, and almost no one who received the vaccine fell seriously ill. Even better, there were almost no serious side effects. Last week, I surveyed a large number of my colleagues in the HealthTap Doctor Network and found that among the doctors who have an opinion, 96% assess that these vaccines are both safe and effective. Most people, in fact, have no side effects, but the side effects that do occur are similar to the common side effects from the flu shot. Some people may experience a sore arm, low-grade fevers, muscle aches, or fatigue, which may last 1 to 3 days after the shot. These symptoms go away without any treatment, and in fact are less bothersome than even a mild case of actually getting COVID-19. There have been a small number of immediate allergic reactions reported after taking the shot, but this is not surprising, given that immediate allergic reactions are known to occur rarely after just about any vaccination. For example, 1 in a million people who get the flu shot may have such an immediate hypersensitivity reaction. This is why we recommend giving the vaccine in a medical setting where if such a reaction occurs, it can be effectively treated right away. The CDC recommends that everyone should get vaccinated against COVID-19. Because it's going to take some time to manufacture and distribute enough doses, each person does need to get 2 shots spaced 3 or 4 weeks apart. So it's very important we give it first to the people who need it most. Current recommendations for the priority for vaccination is that we should start with healthcare workers and long-term care residents, then move on to people who are older than 75 years, and essential workers such as teachers, retail, and grocery store workers. Then we want younger people with chronic medical conditions and younger adults, followed by children. And finally, even those who previously had COVID-19, who still should be vaccinated based on current guidelines to boost and prolong their immunity. Once 75% of the population is immune to the virus, we expect further transmission will effectively end, the so-called herd immunity. I expect this will take the better part of the coming year to accomplish. Finally, I'd like to address some of the questions about these vaccines that appear to be coming from rumor or even misinformation. The first is, can the RNA alter your genetic code, changing your DNA? The answer to this is absolutely not, because the RNA in the vaccine never gets into the nucleus of the cells where your chromosomes hold your DNA. The RNA never interacts with your DNA, so it cannot affect it. Next is, can I get COVID-19 from taking the vaccine? Well, this vaccine does not contain any virus, and so there's no way it can give you an infection caused by a virus. Are there going to be any long-term side effects? Well, this one is a bit harder to answer definitively because our test data are only from the past several months. We're continuing to monitor the health of those who receive the vaccine, so if there were significant later effects, which are not expected, we will know as soon as possible. The most important thing to realize, though, is that the risk of not getting vaccinated is very real and, in fact, much bigger. People who don't get vaccinated are at risk of serious illness and death. The second thing is that based on the very small number of ingredients in the vaccine, and because it makes no lasting changes other than by generating an immune response, it's not expected to have significant long-term effects at all. It would be very surprising if there were. Finally, I've heard concern that these vaccines are made using human tissue or cell lines derived from fetal tissue. These vaccines are in fact manufactured using a chemical process that does not involve any human cells whatsoever. I hope this helps you better understand these new vaccines, and I urge you to get vaccinated just as soon as they are available to you. We've assembled quite a few more questions and answers on COVID-19 vaccines, and I hope you find the additional information helpful. You can find answers to all of your questions on HealthTap, where you can ask any question, including additional COVID-19 questions, and get a free answer from doctors on our network. We have more than 90,000 fabulous volunteer US licensed doctors who are available and willing to answer your questions for free, and usually within just a few hours. Check it out. Take care.